Okay, and then once we've done the circles, we're going to push our feet away and pull them towards our body. So you can see it's a gentle movement. I'm basically pointing my toe towards me, and then I'm alternating left and right. You can see, right? So it's not a very big movement. It's very small, but I'm trying to, in this way, warm up my ankles. So try to, as if you're walking, kind of, but you are actually seated. So try to make it only a movement in your ankles and don't use your legs too much. So, okay, so once we've done this, we are slowly moving to the next part. So we're going to move now really to the legs. So for this one, lie down on your mat, on your back, okay? And keep your arms next to your body. Perfect, yes. And then you're going to keep one knee in a 90-degree angle like this, and the other leg, you're going to try and keep it straight into the air like this, okay? And then you are, if you can, going to raise that leg, just like you can use your hip as well. So bring up your hip. You can make it a hip thrust, meaning like you really make a bridge with your hip into the air, and you like squeeze your glutes, and then hold it for 2 seconds and release. Or if that's too hard, you just keep your leg up like this, okay? And you imagine that you want to really push it towards the ceiling. So you're not just keeping your leg relaxed. You're making an effort to make your leg as long as possible, okay? So choose whether you want to do bridges, 1, 2. Either way, we're gonna hold it for 20 seconds and then we switch to the other side. So I will count for you. Okay, so let me see what you are doing. You're holding it. Anyone bridging? I see. Okay, so 7 seconds. Then we switch to the other leg. 3, 2, 1, and switch. So remember, you're trying to really pull your leg towards the ceiling. So you're kind of stretching it while you are in this position. Okay, keep it up for another 3, 2, 1. Okay, now still in this position, we are going to bring our leg back down, okay? And we're going to do a bit of rolling. So you stay on your back, but you're going to hug your knees like this, okay? And we roll to the right side first. So I'm doing it for you, roll. And then I'm going to look to the wall behind me. So you see that my neck is making a movement. And then I look back to the wall in front of me. So, and then I roll back and I do it to the other side. So here you will be able to see it more clearly. I roll and then I look to the wall behind me like this, very carefully, because you don't want to hurt your neck. We hold it for 2 seconds and then we look back and then we roll back to the other side. So we're going to do 10 of those, okay? So 5 right, 5 left. You can go with me or at your own speed, okay? So here we go. So I'm at number 4 now.
Lo so, amore, sono abituata.
Okay. Number 6. 8, sorry. 9. Last one. Okay, I am going to mute you all because it will be otherwise too much noise. Okay. If you want to tell me something, you can raise your hand. There is an option. You can raise your hand. Okay. So hold on.
Che fai, amore?
Okay. So next one. Next one, you stay in this position, okay? We're going to do a happy baby pose. So you are going to put your feet in the air and you grab, first we grab on the left side, okay? We try to grab like a baby is doing. Mine is doing that very beautifully now, grabbing the sole of your feet. And you try to keep, actually do it with both hands, easier. So grab both sole of your feet, okay, like this. And then we're going to roll as well, like we did previously. So we're going to roll carefully left, and then we're going to roll to the right, okay? So we're going to roll 10 times as well, and try to really roll from the hips. So you start rolling from one hip, and then you focus on your hips. So you try to really push yourself to the other side by rolling from one hip onto the other. So starting now, you can go with me or you go at your own pace. You keep your chin tucked, okay, for this one, so you won't hurt your neck. This is number 4 that I'm starting here. Number 7. Keep your chin tucked. Number 9. And last one. Number 10. Okay, now let's go. Shake it out a little bit while you're lying on your mat. We're going to sit up onto our mat now, like this. And for the first exercise, you are going to tuck one knee under your butt and the other knee is in front of you. So let's say you start on the left side with your knee tucked under your foot tucked under your butt. Okay. And then we're going to do a cat-cow in this position. So normally when you do cat-cow, like as I always knew it, you are like this and you would do this, okay? Now we're going to do the same movement, but from this position. So it will also focus more on the hips when we do it on the left side. Okay, so I do for you. So I am now making my back, like rounding my back, pushing my navel towards my back, really trying to squeeze all my core muscles. And then I release. I round my back and I also look forward with my neck, okay? Then I switch. I put the other knee under my butt and so my left foot is pointing ahead, and I do the same thing, round and make it hollow, okay? So we're going to do 5 times on each side. You go with me or you go at your own pace. Here we go. So rounding it, squeezing everything you have, tucking your chin and release, looking forward, hollowing your back like a cow. And then switching to the other side. Same thing again, rounding your back, squeeze, tucking your chin, and release. Looking forward, relaxing your back. making it slightly hollow. Switch. So tuck, squeeze, and release. Switch. I'm at number 3. Squeeze and release. Switch. Number 4. And release. Switch. Squeeze and release. Last one. Squeeze and release. Other side. Squeeze and release. Okay. Now for the next one, we are tucking our toes under our butt like this, and we're just going to rock gently backward and forward. So in this way, we're warming up our wrists, but also our hips more, our hamstrings, our knees, our toes, our ankles. And important is that you look down for this exercise. So don't strain your neck by looking forward, but look down, okay? We're going to do 10 of those, 10 more. So back, 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. Now, the next one will be probably the most challenging one. So we will go to a, so from a high plank position. So if you cannot do this position, then go on your knees. That's fine, as long as you keep your back straight. So either full plank or half plank. From here, you go into a cobra. So like this, okay? You hold it for 2, and then we come up back again, and we walk our hands back. So we are now standing, and then we go back, and we walk our feet backwards until we are in a bridge position, and we're going to bridge 1, 2, and then walk our feet back, stand up again, and then basically go back into our high plank position by walking our hands out again. So I start from the beginning, okay? So from here, I go either knees down or straight into a cobra, hold it, plank, walk my hands back, my legs stay straight, I stand. From here, I go into a toilet squat, I walk my feet back, I go into a bridge, hold it, I walk my feet back until I'm standing again, and then I walk my hands out till a plank. Okay, so that's it. We'll do this 5 times. You go with me or at your own pace. Here we go. Cobra, high plank, walking my hands backwards, standing, toilet squat, then switching to the bridge, hips are up, 1, 2, down, walking my feet back, standing straight, and walking my hands forward again. My feet or my legs stay straight, and I go into cobra again. Second time, I go into a high plank, walking my hands back, standing up, toilet squat, hands to the back, hip bridge upwards, backwards, standing again, legs stay straight, walking my hands out, high plank. Here we go, third time, cobra, plank position, walking my hands back, standing tall, toilet squat, hands behind myself, bridge position, and up. Feet are back, standing tall. Keep my legs straight, walking myself into a straight plank. Hold it for time. Cobra. Okay. Back. High plank. Walk my hands back. Standing tall. Toilet squat. Hands behind my butt. Walking my feet out. Up for a bridge. And down. Walk my feet back. Standing tall. Walk my hands out. High plank. Last time. Cobra. And up. I go back into a high plank. Keep my legs straight. Standing tall. Toilet squat. Hands behind my butt. Walk it out. Bridge position. Hold. Back. Feet. Standing tall. And that's it. Now it's a complicated one, but we'll do it again next time and you'll get it eventually. So, okay. Ladies, this was our warm-up. So, told you no cardio this time, except if Marina wants to do some jumping jacks, because I know she loves them. So, you can go ahead and do 20 jumps. Okay, let's all do 20 jumping jacks. Let's do it, okay? Get onto your mat, because Marina loves jumping jacks. Here we go. 20, huh? At your own pace. Don't be angry with me, huh? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, good. 6:30 and we're warmed up. Way to go. So we will start with our chair. So get your chair ready, everyone. So chair, we will have the option, okay? So have the option to do a single leg squat by, so easy option, okay? Relatively easy option. You hold your leg in front, okay? And you're going to, so starting on the right leg is extended, left leg is in the air, my back is straight, holding my hands on my hips. I'm going to either gently sit down and come up again, okay? That's too easy. Your chair is just there for you to know it's there, but you're not going to use it. You're going to do a single leg squat without using your chair. Be aware that if you do this, your knee cannot go inward, okay? So you have to have the range of motion and the strength in your upper muscle of your leg and your knee to keep it pushing outward. If you do not have that, then please be honest with yourself. And then just do this one where you sit down and you still have to pay attention to pushing your knee outwards, okay? So we do 10 times right, 10 times left. Here we go, starting now. So choose your poison and try to not drop yourself like I just did. So ideally you want to hold, and really touch the chair softly with your butt. This is number 2. Number 3. Up. Can you feel it already? 4. Up. 5. Go ahead. I'm going to take a look how you are all doing. Looking good. As far as I can see, it's not an easy one, huh? Even with the chair, it's challenging enough. So, Francesca, looking good. Okay, so let's say we are at number 7. This is number 8. Up. 9. Up. And 10, up, okay, shake it out. Then we switch to the other side. Here we go. Oh boy. And now you'll notice that your left side is even worse than your right side. Or maybe it's better. Or maybe you started with your left side. Okay. Number 2. 3. 5. And if it's really too hard with extended leg, you can keep your leg in a bend position. It will be slightly easier because there's not so much to balance. So try, if you're really struggling, try this version. So where you're holding your knee in a 90-degree angle. Let's say that we are at number 6. And needless to say, if you feel any pain anywhere, then stop or make it easier for yourself, okay? So, number 8. 9. Last one. 10. Whew, shake it out. Okay, for the next one, we still need our chair. So we're going to do a split squat on a chair. Take your weights if you want to add on a little bit of difficulty. And starting with the right leg, place your right foot onto your chair, okay, like this. And you're going to place your left foot about, well, let's say, it's not a meter, it's like, I don't know, 70 centimeters, not a meter, but a little bit. Basically, you're supposed to make a split squat and you should keep your balance. So you should feel a little bit, if you're too narrow, then you don't have leverage. If you're too far, you're going to lose your balance, okay? So see what works for you here. And we do 8 on the right side, 8 on the left side, okay? Here we go. And remember, when you're doing your squat, your knee is not going over your toe, okay? So this is a slow movement. Your back stays straight. Your knee does not go over your toe. You breathe in and out. This is number 5. And whenever you're down all the way here, you're going to squeeze your left butt cheek to come up again. That's going to help you. 6, 7, 8, and switch. Here we go. 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, do not quite drop your weights yet. Turn around to your chair. We're going to start with the right leg. Do a chair step up. Be careful, do not fall. And from here, we're going to do a leg lift. Okay, make sure your chair is stable. I don't want anyone to fall down. Okay, so we do that 8 times on this side, and then we switch, starting now. So step up and raise your leg. Down and up. Down and up. So we are hitting multiple muscles in one exercise, because you're not only going to train your butt, your glutes, you're also going to train your quadriceps, your hamstrings. Number 7, last one on this side. 8, and switch. Here we go. 1, continue. I'm just going to take a sneak peek to see how wonderful you ladies are doing. Looking good. I can only see Marina's feet. Awesome. Okay, so let's say we did 6 already. This is the last 7. 1 more. 8. Okay. Now you can drop your weight, but you still need your chair. So we're going to do, so 2 options actually. Easy option, you do a hip bridge without a chair. So meaning you are going to bring up your hips, squeeze your glutes, hold it here for 1, 2, and release. Or you add in your chair. You lean on your heels, okay? Important, bring your hands, your palms are facing up, not down, so you're protecting your shoulders. You're going to push yourself up. That's so too easy. Add a leg, do it on one leg, okay? Hold it, same thing. So we're going to do 20 total. Either you do 10 just on like this or like this, or you do 10 right and 10 left. Here we go. So choose your poison. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short break of 5 seconds, then we switch or we go again. Okay, get ready and raise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue. I'm going to take a look. 6, 7, looking good. 8, 9, 10. Okay, awesome job. Okay, now you can get rid of your chair. Place it somewhere that it's not in your way. And we go again with weights if you want. So we go to a squat with rotation and a press up. So either if you easy option without weights, we're going to do a squat with rotation. So good squat, your feet are shoulder width apart, okay? You're going to squat, your knees are not going over your toes, your back is straight, and your knees are pushing outwards, okay? So you squat like this, and then you come up and you rotate to the right side. You squat, you rotate to the left side, okay? That's without the weights. Now, option is that you take your weights, you squat, and you bring them up to one side, you squat, you bring them up to the other side, okay? So choose what works for you. We go for 15 reps. Here we go. Squat, rotate left, squat, rotate right, squat, left, squat, right, squat, left. Number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, last one, 15. Okay, shake it out. This was our first set. Take a sip of water. And then we will go to the core. So we will start with, so easy option is just a high plank hold. So either you hold it here. We're going to hold it for 30 seconds, okay? So I'm going to count. So if it is too hard, do it on your knees or start like this and then switch to your knees, okay? As long as your hands are under your shoulders, okay? And then the harder option is well, if you don't have weights, then it's a bit tricky. Let me think. So if you have bottles, yeah, then place your bottles outside your hands, okay? So you're going to stand in a high plank. Now, starting right, you take a bottle, you do basically you pull it towards you, but you hold your plank, you bring it back down, and you switch to the other side, okay? So choose whatever option works for you. We're going to do it for 30 seconds. Here we go. So either you hold high plank and you switch to low when it gets too difficult, or you are doing your renegade rows with your bottles or your weights, okay? Remember, your hands are under your shoulders and try not to lock your elbows. 5 seconds. Don't forget to breathe. Here we are. Great job. Okay, so next, we will stick a little bit to the planking theme. So we stay, so put your weights aside. We do a low plank with a back slide. So we start in a side plank position. Sorry, no, we start in a low plank position. So either you start like this on your knees, or you start on a full plank. And then you're going to rotate yourself to the right, and then bring your right arm to the back. So you push your shoulder blades. They're pushing towards each other because your arm is going back, okay? Then you go back to your low plank, like this or this, and you do the same thing on the other side, where you pull your shoulder backwards, okay? So we're going to do this for 30 seconds as well. Get ready, here we go. Up, arm up, push your shoulder blade backwards and back to your low plank, turning on your ankles, other arm in the air, bring your shoulder backwards, rotating back to your low plank, up again, 10 seconds left. Three, 2, 1. Okay. So now we will do one thing we also did on Sunday, because I do want to also do some animal flow with you ladies. So we're going to do a front step. So we are going to load the beast and then step forward. So you are going to start with your hands a bit in front of you. You are tucking your toes underneath your butt, okay? So I'm leaning on my toes. This is my loaded beast position, okay? So I should push myself all the way to the back. So next, I'm going to come forward with the left side first. So I'm going to place my left foot here, and my left arm is coming up. That's my move. Then backwards, loading the beast, doing the same on the other side. Okay? So important here is that you do it in one fluent movement. You keep your leg. Look at how my leg is, and you look forward so you don't strain your neck, okay? So we're going to do 10 of those. Do it at your own pace. Try to, okay? Here we go. Left, 1. Load the beast, ride, and hold it. And back, load it, step forward, arm up. Load it, step forward, arm up. Okay, so ideally it's one movement where your arm and your leg are coming forward in once, instead of first your foot and then your arm. Number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I said 10, right? So next, shake it out a little bit because it's hard on your legs. We have pure ab exercise, so lie on your back. Easy option is that you are going to, so at all times, push your lower back into the mat, okay? Push it into the mat, and then you're going to slightly lift your shoulders off the mat to be sure that your lower back is pushed against the mat. You're going to put your hands underneath your back so you actually feel when you're lifting it. And then, like I just did, you're going to lift your feet off the mat like this. And we're going to hold it for, we will start with 10 seconds. See how that goes. And then we will see if we can do it another time for 10 seconds, okay? That's the easy option. Harder option is that you just do 20 seconds of this scissor kicks, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 10 seconds starting now. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can continue with your scissor kicks, huh? 20 seconds of scissor kicks in one go. Here we go again for 10 seconds. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Okay. Next, to stay in this position, we are going to bring our heels to heaven. So feet up like this, and then we're going to, with our hands a little bit, push our feet up higher and release. So it's a very, you have to learn how to feel as well, how you can leverage your core to push your feet. So it's a good exercise. Don't be disappointed if it doesn't work for the first time. We will try again next time, okay? So try to push without hurting your back, please. So if you cannot do it, then it's fine. But try to push your feet so you're coming up, actually. So you're using your arm, but you're also using your core and your back, like this, okay? So if you don't have the power, and then don't do it, and instead do this dead bug exercise. So you are with your knees 90 degrees up in the air, your arms up like this, and you're going to release right and left first at the same time. Bring it back up and release. Okay, so we're going to do this for 30 seconds. So either you are going to bring your heels to heaven, or you do the dead bug. So choose what you like to do without hurting yourself. Here we go. So if you're pushing your heels up, it should look like this. If you're choosing for that bug, you are still pushing your lower back into the floor, but you're releasing your left and your right arm. Sorry, your left arm and your right leg, and your right arm and your left leg at the same time. And still you push your lower back against the floor. That's it. Brava. So that was our set, and unfortunately it's already 10 to 7. So we only managed to do each set one time. Sorry. So I will do some stretching with you now because it's important to do stretching. And I will send you the exercises so you can do it again yourself. Now you know how to do all the movements. And we will do some stretching now. Okay, so get onto your mat for a downward dog. So like this, your hands pushing into the mat and your feet also. Your fingers are spread and you are changing the weight from the left to the right foot by walking a bit on the spot, kind of. As long as you feel a stretch in your shoulders, in your calves, and in your back, you are doing the right thing. Okay, from here you flow into a cobra, so be careful for your back. So either a full cobra like this or a half cobra where you lean on your elbows. Okay, so either way, whatever you choose, we will also do something for the neck while we are in this position. So we're going to bring our neck to the left first and hold it there. Sorry. And breathe in and out. And then we're going to bring our face to the other side. So rotate your neck to the right or to the left if you rotated it just to the other side. Okay, now forward. So you tuck your chin. And I don't know for you, but for me, it feels so good to do this movement. Oops, I hope you could not hear my stomach. I hope you could also not hear my crying baby. You can let me know if you did, because I'm curious to know how well my earphones are. She was crying a lot, so just write me a message afterwards if you want. Okay, next. We are moving into a child's pose. So your arms are outstretched and you are leaning into your hips, relaxing completely. Your forehead is on the mat. You should feel a stretch in your shoulders, in your back, maybe even in your hamstrings if you're very tight. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then turn around onto your mat. for a knee to chest stretch. So take one leg and pull your knee towards you. So you feel a stretch in your hamstring, but also probably in your hip area. And maybe in your back too. Switch to the other leg. Then we'll do something for our poor glutes as well. So bring your right leg or in front of your left knee and pull your left knee towards you. Switch to the other side. So, okay, and then last but not least, turn around on your left or right side. Bring your arm under your head and then take your ankle. Switch to the other side. Okay, then slowly sit up tall onto your mat. Do a little bit of wrist relaxing because we also did some wrist heavy exercise. So try to rotate a bit, left, right, and then take the fingers of the right arm and gently push them backwards a little bit. So you feel a soft stretch in your your pulse basically. Okay. Then we do this on the other side. And then we are done. So I'll take away